I will take it from there.
Yes. Hello to everyone this evening. As most of you may know, my name is Robin Watts. I am the Assistant Director at the Clarkston campus. Of course, Jess is our director, and we are asking Tina and her team from the Clarkston Independence Library to come and talk to you tonight about some great information about early literacy and why it's so important. And Tina, I'm sure you can take it away from here.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, Robin.
You're welcome.
Hello, everybody, and good evening, and welcome to a fun night of learning why early literacy is so important and why it helps lifelong learning. We are going to be recording this, so Timmy, if you can go ahead and start recording. My two IT gentlemen that are here tonight are Tim and Bill. So if you hear me shouting out to Tim and Bill, it is just my IT guys that are going to be helping me out tonight. So we do have a question and answer segment at the end. However, we are going to use the chat. So if you have any questions while we are going through the presentation, please feel free to type them into the chat. And then at the end, we will get to them, if that sounds okay for everybody. Let me see. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I also would ask everybody to just mute themselves. You can stay on your camera, but just mute yourself. All right, so a little bit about me before we get going here. My name is Tina Rosso. I am a youth services librarian at the Clarkston Independence District Library. I have been working in libraries, big and small, since 2004. I have a dual bachelor's degree in elementary education. I graduated from Wayne State in 2011 with my master's in library science, and I specialized in youth and teen services. So mainly at the library that I work at now, which is Clarkston. We switch things around, but I conduct story times for 2-year-olds, as well as curate monthly programs for various ages. So usually in youth services, we go all the way up through K through 8, if you will. And then we also have a teen services section that goes all the way up till 18. But they are under the umbrella of youth services, okay? During the summer, I create programming for children that are geared towards grades 3 through 5. So I have a vast amount of age groups that I work with during the year. They just vary and change. And I also help patrons of all ages at the reference desk. I order chapter books for the kids for the collection. So if you come into our library, all the chapter books and early readers that you see and the DVDs, that's my collection. So those are the ones that I build personally for the library. And also just a little bit about me. I am a Marilyn Monroe fanatic. I love dachshunds. I have 2. I collect coffee cups, and I like live theater and 80s music. So just a little bit about me. I have a very special love for early literacy. I don't know why. I'm a mom of 2. I have a 4-year-old son who is on the autism spectrum, and I also have a 2-year-old daughter who is a complete handful. So you might hear them as I do this presentation. They're literally upstairs and they sound like a herd of elephants right now, but I'm hoping that nobody actually hears them, but we got to do what we got to do. Okay, so what does early literacy mean? So early literacy, when people hear it, they think, oh, it's teaching my child to read. That is not what early literacy is. It literally means helping children develop the skills that they need to become successful readers. So the first 5 years of your child's life are fundamentally the most important. That is the time that their brains are just sponges. They literally that is when they learn so much. They say the ages 3 to 5, they just explode with knowledge. So early literacy activities, which we're going to go into, build vocabulary, self-expression, understanding, comprehension, which is a huge one, which children will lack later in school, but you won't see it as a young child, but they will lack comprehension later. So that's something that you always have to kind of keep an eye out for. These skills help children make sense of printed words when they start reading. So printed words, and printed words are kind of different too than when we talk about things that we read on a computer screen, because those are actually two different sets of skill sets. People came together, different types of early literacy coaches, librarians were on a panel, and they came together with 5 early literacy practices, and they are playing, singing, reading, talking, and writing. And we are going to go over those together. Playing. Playing is my favorite one because when children play, they learn how to express themselves. And self-expression is so huge when children are trying to learn. Children have a hard time self-regulating emotions. And this is how they learn how to self-regulate their own emotions. And they also learn the meaning of words and what words mean and how to tell people how they feel. They also learn new words through play, even if they're parallel playing, which we see up until age 2, 3, they still parallel play. And then after that, when they start to co-play, they start to learn words from each other through playing. They also start recognize print words. The bigger the print of the word, like the A and the O's, they start to recognize print concepts. And they also learn how to retell stories when they're playing, like mommy, I did this, mommy, we do this. And when they do that, that builds reading comprehension. And that is the one thing that I will say that as they get older throughout grade school, if you don't build these fundamental, these stepping stones right now, when they get to about 3rd grade, they lose their comprehension skills. I just put on here, let your child play dress up with old clothes. Like these are some really good things to be for playing, acting out anything using puppets, playing any type of toy that they can manipulate. A manipulative toy is the best. And don't be afraid to get messy. And I'm going to go into my favorite part. So I might get a little excited a little bit later, but singing is the other part that we do. And I put on there, try singing songs in different languages. The younger you start children out with a different language, the easier it is for them to learn that language. You would be surprised to know that some children, if they are taught a language from birth on, they will be bilingual by the time they're 5 years old. So singing is so important. I noticed with my own daughter, who is 2 years old, who can't vocalize what her needs or wants are, but she can sing and mimic songs that are on YouTube constantly. I think that's incredible. It's always important from birth to sing to your child lullabies, sing songs you make up. Those are my favorite songs for children. Make up a song about your kid, sing them a song about themselves. We have children's CDs at the library. We're going to get into my services later. It's going to be great. But and then many picture books now that we have actually illustrate popular lullabies and songs for children that are classic. Reading, the obvious part. Learning to read when entering school. It is one of the important educational milestones, and it's one of the most valuable skills. But it is one of the most cognitively challenging proficiencies to acquire. Reading is the hardest thing to learn, and learning the English language is also one of the hardest things to learn. And we all predominantly speak English. So it can be a little very difficult for children to learn how to read, and children learn how to read at different paces. So just because your child reads at, let's say, a intermediate reading level and somebody is advanced at them, that doesn't mean that they are any different. They're reading at different levels, and that is okay. And children now sometimes are expected to read by the time they enter kindergarten. And that is a big, big expectation for such a little person to do. So if your child is not yet reading 1 or 2 sight words by the time they are entering kindergarten, rest assured that they will be okay. But I can't express to you guys enough that reading with your children, with your child in your lap, with a book, is the number one thing you can do to support early literacy. It is the number one thing, even if it's just one book a night. It is the most important thing. And to have your children see you read and to see you enjoying reading is going to foster the love of reading and learning for the rest of their lives, because that's how it's built. They will model your behavior. Anything you read to them expands their vocabulary. Even if you are reading the same book over and over and over again, I know, having little ones, that I read Five Little Pumpkins. I can't tell you how many times I've read Five Little Pumpkins, and I can tell you that there's 2 or 3 different versions of Five Little Pumpkins. I know all of them by heart because that's the one we pick up and read and read and read. Repetition is key for this too, because they're constantly learning something new out of it. Even though you're reading the same words each time, they are getting something from it every time, even if it's just the enjoyment of learning how to sit in your lap and sit quietly and read and participate in the book. So talking is kind of an easy or hard one. It can be either or. There's a lot of information on these slides. I'm just going to pause real quick and tell you that I'm not going to be reading you everything off these slides. But we will get into talking about them. But the reason I put so much information on these slides is because it's going to be recorded, and I want everyone to be able to come back if they need to and see and read about all the information that we do have. Talking to your children is one of the best ways to develop early literacy skills. Like I said, if you make up songs about your kid, express your thoughts to your kids, even as a baby. So even as a baby, as 1 week old, I'm going to change your diaper now. We're going to go do this. Mommy's going to unload the dishwasher. Mommy's getting ready for work. And you talk to them about what you're doing with them. Mommy's going to, put your socks on. Mommy's going to put your shoes on. That's the type of things as talking to them. It doesn't have to be anything important, but just as you keep talking and keep talking and keep talking, they mimic you, and they mimic what you're doing, and they want to. We're social people. We're social creatures. Humans are social. They're going to try to talk back to you, which is adorable. And it is literally how they gain new information around the world, is by talking. So one of my favorite things to do with my kids, even my 2-year-old, is ask them open-ended questions. So something that they can't answer yes or no to, and see if they'll tell you a story. And it can be completely mind-boggling and make no sense, but it's fantastic. I like to, what do you think is going to happen next? So when you are reading to your child in your lap, before you turn the page, even if you've read it 20 times, ask them, what is going to happen next? I also like to do this with my son, especially my son, because he is a child with autism. If he says to me, like, fire truck, I always say, yes, that's a big fire truck. There's a siren on top. I try to expand on it so that he's not just going to become fixated on just trying to say fire truck, fire truck. I want him to kind of see what fire trucks do by talking. And like I said, daily routines with them. They love that. And like having them try to help them as they keep going, be like, you can go pick out your socks now. You can see how well they comprehend that. Because like I said, comprehension does come back later as part of an issue as we get older. Writing, even the smallest little thing, let them scribble. Give them a pen, give them a marker, give them crayons. You can actually watch your child's writing develop. You'll notice that they will start out holding like this, and then they'll slowly start to get a different grip. And then they'll slowly start to actually have a writing grip, and it's fascinating to watch. You can help your child, let your child help you do things. My 2-year-old helps me work from home all the time. So I give her a book that I am currently trying to read out of to order books for the library. And she is sitting next to me scribbling and writing because she thinks she's helping me work. Anything you can get them to do, like, would you like to try to write your name? Let mommy, daddy, let your grown-up person show you how to write your own name. Ask them to draw a picture and help them make signs or labels. Kids like to do that as they get older. They like to make signs or labels for whatever they have in their room. And that is a great way to enforce writing skills. I feel that if you take writing skills and make them fun, they're more likely to engage in that activity rather than making them think that they have to, participate. So, but as they're little, I always say, let them scribble. Try to let it not be on the walls, but let them scribble. Playing tips. So this is my favorite. Playing is my absolute favorite. This is a big presentation, a big slide. So I've got lots of awesome tips for you guys. We're not going to read over everything. But playing. Another thing about playing that is absolutely fantastic and something that I think is amazing to do for kids is to make them a sensory bin and to encourage the use of sensory bins. Children learn their language skills, fine motor skills, how to socialize, problem solving, memorization, and how to be calm. So another thing sensory bins can do is they can help a child refocus. And that is huge. But they're also playing. So they're actually learning how to communicate with each other just by playing. And you can see I have a bunch of tips on here. So when you guys come back and read through these, you can see, encourage children to write their own stories, finger plays. Finger plays are huge, puppet songs. So these are awesome playing tips. And to piggyback, I put together for everybody a $30 kit that you can build from the dollar store if you'd like to have at your home for your child. So this is everything you can get from the dollar store and it costs $30 total. And I just said, you don't even need 6 bins, you can get 2 bins and switch them out. But I always say it requires space where children can get messy and storage containers. A tarp is a plus if you want. We're coming up on warmer weather though, so you should be able to just put them outside and let them have at it. But all of these things, you can put them in individually, or you can mix them together and watch them play in their sensory bins. I love these. I can't explain to you how much I love doing these and having them at the library. One of the favorites I can tell you for us that our kids love is shaving cream and coffee and anything with sand. And they also really, really, really like baking soda. So, and there's some really fun things that you can make if you look up on the internet. You can start mixing stuff together and you can have tons of fun with sensory bins. And like I said, you can get all of this stuff from the dollar store for $30. And I think it is super fun to have for kids on hand. Okay, singing tips. I recommend if you with your little ones, if you guys want to use, there's a YouTube channel. It's called Super Simple Songs. I love Super Simple Songs. We use them all the time in my house and in my son's ECSE program, which is Early Childhood Special Education program, is Simple Songs. And I 100% recommend them. They're great. They have a lot of classics on there. And they also have a lot of new fun songs that they create. I think they are so fun, so educational, and the animation is fantastic. It's absolutely adorable. And even as a parent, you can watch it and not, cringe a little bit. This is another one that you'll notice as we go for like little babies, you can sing while changing their diapers. If you're losing people's little children's attention, you can use singing and finger plays. Singing is one of those things that you can use anytime to redirect and reavert attentions. So it's pretty great. And another thing that we use, and we use all the time at the library, is shaker eggs. So I always say, oh, you can make your own shaker eggs too. They're super cheap and super easy to make. So I always suggest getting those too. Ooh, we got a notification, Timmy. All right, reading tips. So reading tips, like I said, we basically, I cannot express to you guys enough, sitting with your child in your lap reading. That is the number one thing you can do. The number one thing is sharing a book with your child and then letting your child see you enjoy reading as well. My fun thing I like to do also as a reading tip is I like to start the book upside down and see if they notice print concept and see if they notice that you need to turn the book around in order to read it. That is a fun thing to do. I always love to be super excited about reading, especially when I start story time. I like my kids to see that I am super eager to read a book. Use different voices for characters. The more you can get children to engage in the story, you can see the change in engagement when you do reading in different voices. It is awesome. I also like to suggest reading books that have different fonts in them, bigger fonts, bigger words on them, especially any age too. You'd be surprised. A lot of children, like a book will be, oh, this is for like at ages 2 to 3, and you can take it to a kindergarten classroom and they'll go nuts for it too. Anything with different print concepts on it, bigger, and then words like moo, ba, anything with like a sound to it is also, that also goes back and links to singing. We offer right now at the Clarkston Library youth book bundles, which I think these are a fantastic thing that we offer. We as librarians will curate books for young children based off a form you submit online for the library. And you can tell us about your child, how old they are, how many books you want, what their interests are. And we will create a books, about 10 books for you that you can take home. And it is a great way to try out new books and new things. So if you're tired of reading, let's just say Captain Underpants, we will give you something else to try with them, like Fly Guy, and to see, how you like that. So you can broaden their horizons, broaden their interests, and read with them. And we do this for all ages, and it's super popular. So if anybody would like to have a book bundle, that is something we love to put those together for everybody. Talking tips. I love for talking tips, basically talk about shapes, talk about letters, talk about colors, anything to get them to start recognizing that shapes and like forms make words. So like the ABCs in the alphabet. Basically repetition with talking. Talking is all about repetition, repetition, repetition. And then when you're a baby, if you have a baby, even your toddlers, even your children that are older and they're still goofy, any type of words or sounds that they make back at you, any speech therapist will tell you that they will mimic all of those sounds so that they can see how important it is to use your talking skills to communicate with people. So when you see babies like blowing raspberries and stuff, it's important to communicate back with them. Timmy. Talk about pictures, talk about books, writing tips. So this is going to be interesting. A lot of people think of writing tips and it's like, oh, you think about like writing a journal. No, writing tips. We're going to be focused more on, for early literacy, your fingers and your hands. So finger plays like the itsy bitsy spider. We're looking for dexterity in fingers. We're looking for fine motor skills. Because that's what writing is. It's a fine motor skill. So you're going to be, again, go back to those sensory bins that I talked about, using their hands with water and sand and their fingers. Play-Doh is great for also fine motor skills. And that is going to help them develop the muscles and the fine tuning for the writing that they would need to do. Once they get older, you can encourage them to write stories about things that they like, write stories about things that they've made up. I also like to take other manipulatives and make letters. Like, so Play-Doh, you can make letters out of anything. Even if it snowed outside, you guys could do it outside. Anything you can trace with your fingers with writing, and it has any textile on, anything that's tactile you can touch and help them trace is going to help them have writing skills as they get older. I also love to suggest drawing a story as well, because that actually helps with writing, to write captions, but it also helps with reading comprehension. Like I always say, becomes the issue that we have when they get to about 3rd grade. Okay, so we're going to go into a little bit of the programs that are offered at the Clarkson Independence District Library. Every single one of our programs that we have at the library incorporates every one of those 5 early literacy standards, every single one of them. Now, this was pre-COVID, and I'm hoping that these programs in the future will be reinstated into their, their glorious self. Mondays, we have Little Gigglers, and that was ages walking through 23 months, which is story time. Tuesdays, we had preschool, ages 3 through 5. Wednesday, we had Wee Wigglers, which was me, ages 2. And Thursday, we had baby story time in the morning for the babies and the mamas. And then Thursday, we have a fun pajama story time. And at the library, every month, we always have a family program, which is usually on a Monday night. And then we also have another fun weekend program that goes on. So there's always something going on at the library for the kids. But each and every one of our story times always incorporates playing, writing, sensory, finger plays. We do songs, finger plays, books, dancing, singing, drawing. I mean, everything at these. And these are 30-minute long. So we focus on 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes is usually the standard story time. And then afterwards is playing and sensory time and craft time. And they, like I said, they incorporate every single one of them. And the best thing about every one of these programs I'm telling you about is that everything at the library is 100% free. Now, we're going to go into our programming that is happening right now during COVID. Oof. Sorry, I had to move my leg. All right. Our first one is with Miss Stephanie, and it's called Let's Get Moving with Music and Stories. And it is for babies ages 0 through 5, and it is with Miss Stephanie. And they kind of take a musical approach to a story time, and it has lots of fun dancing in it, and stories, and sometimes yoga, from what I have been told. This program is on Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. and you can register for them on our eDance calendar. And this one is super cute. I know she's been really excited about it, and she's been doing more and more with it as her weeks have gone on. So it's a lot of fun to watch this one as well. They are super cute. And that one is done via Zoom. Not all of our programs right now are done via Zoom. A lot of them are done on Facebook Live. Okay, our next one is with Miss Jamie. It's preschool ages 3 through 5. And we are doing right now, because we can't have our babies with us, our kids, and with us in person, we are doing amazing grab and go craft kits for each week for the themes that we do. So she is live every Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. on our Facebook page, which you can access. There was a little link I had on our other slide. Like I said, this is recorded, so you guys can go back. But this is really cute. So she does a theme every week of her story time, and then she also does a take-home activity and or craft. So it could be just a fun activity. It could also be a science experiment. It could be a burying things. It could also be making something for your sensory bin for at home. It is super fun. It is well attended. And even if you can't register to get a craft kit, you are more than welcome to watch the program on Facebook. And then Miss Jamie is also kind enough to post her links to her craft supplies and lists on our youth services blog. So she's pretty great for that. Next is me. You will see I am called Take and Make Stories and Crafts with Miss Tina. I do pretty much the same thing. My ages are kind of a little bit older. So we're trying to get the ages K through 2. So what I do is a little bit different. I don't do a full story time. I read 2 or 3 books and I send home fun activities for these kids to do. And there's multiple activities in a bag. And it's either science experiments, like I said, it is activities like for like mind, like I want to say like mind teasers or brain teasers. And I also send home fun crafts for them to do, just fun things for them to do too while they're at home. And this one, they can watch me live or they can come back because it's recorded. So they can come back and watch it at a later time if they can't make it because my kids are a little older. This one is fantastic. This is Family Fun Adventures with Miss Christie. This is our family program that we have kind of right now. Miss Christie's done an amazing job with this. She has gone above and beyond. Every week at 10:30 on Facebook, she does a recording and she also sends home a register for her grab and go craft kit. She has been visiting different locations all around Clarkston and the Metro Detroit area. She went to Ford Field. She went to the oh, what is it called? The maple syrup place where they make maple syrup. And so she takes these in videos and teaches all the kids about the different things that go on her field trips. And then she sends home a baking craft and or something that goes along with the theme that she is doing that week. It is pretty incredible. And it is meant to be done as a family. So everybody, all ages can do it. Just as long as you have your grown-up person to help you out. So that's fantastic. And I think she's done a fantastic job with this. Okay, this is just a sample of stuff that we have that are basic. Like I said, our basic offerings. Right now, because of the pandemic, we are offering Roku, Fire Sticks, Apple TV, and they are available to be checked out at our library. We also offer, we have paid for tutor.com. So if your child needs tutoring at any age, you can access it with us online right now. We've been doing it for almost a year now, tutor.com. So I'm not quite sure how long it's going to be extended for, but as of right now, we do have it. I put up our April calendar that we're having, so we can go over that real quick. We have our preschool pop-up story time. That's Miss Jamie. Let's Get Moving. That's Miss Stephanie. And then me. But those are the things that we do every other week. And then I do a family spring grab and go craft kits where we put together a craft kit that you can do with your family together over the weekend that is fun and enjoyable, and kids of all ages can do it with their grown-up person. So that's just something fun. We send home all these instructions and everything that goes with it so that you guys can have a relaxing time at home that's not in front of a screen all the time, because we do realize that that is very difficult and it's becoming a lot on all of us, and especially our little ones. And then we also have on April 17th, we have 11 and 2 p.m. I have the Sloan Planetarium coming, and we're going to be building worm motels. Don't ask me exactly what a worm motel is because I'm not too sure, but I do know it does in fact include worms. So we did have them coming to do it, and they're an amazing company. By the way, they're amazing. If any parents after this gets ironed out, if anyone can get up to the Sloan Planetarium, they are amazing, and they have a ton of stuff that they offer that I have been very lucky to get in with them and to have them come to our library and work with us. So they're bringing kits for us, and it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for that one. Also, I put on here a little information for everybody about how to get a library card. So, because I'm not sure if everybody has a library card, and if you need one, we actually do have a link on our website if you would like to get a form, but the library is currently open. We have a limited capacity that people are allowed to come in and check out books and look around. You are also allowed to schedule a study room by appointment only, but you are more than welcome to come in And if you're registered for our programs, you're more than welcome to come in and grab your grab and go bags. And you are more than welcome to come in and get a library card. If you are a resident, student, or employee of Clarkston or Independence Township, you are eligible for a library card. Now, but wait, if you live somewhere else, like let's say Waterford or Springfield Township, and you have a library card and you are a member in good standing from their library. Now, good standing can mean a couple of things, but usually it means that you have no fines or you have a fine like that is less than $10. It's usually something like that. Then you can have your library card, let's say from Springfield Township, you just bring it up to our desk. They will confirm that you are a patron in good standing, and they will add you into our system, and you can use your Springfield library card at our library. So you have access to our materials. But if you do live in Clarkston and do not have a library card, you need a photo ID with your current address. Anything that supports that, like a utility bill. But if your kid goes to a Clarkston school, then they're eligible for our PAC Pass. So their PAC Pass, they get automatically for going to school, and they are eligible for all of our services as well. Like I said, there is a link on our website that will take you to the application for, and all of this for how to, it's actually where I got this information from, and the direct link, and it will take you to the application for a library card. And we can do those curbside as well. So there's a lot we're offering. If you don't feel comfortable coming into the building, we accommodate everybody. If you needed to make prints or do notaries, we're accommodating everybody we can. We do curbside service for everything, and you're also welcome to come in. We just have building capacity limits, and you have to wear a mask. Okay, now the piece de resistance for me is every summer we host a summer reading program. Now the gap is summer. So while kids are engrossed in school, preschool, even daycares, a lot of people offer summer reading programs, and they are free. Ours is free to everybody too. You do not have to have a library card or be a resident to participate in our summer reading program. Everyone is welcome. And our summer reading programs are pretty intense and awesome, and we have something for everybody of all ages. This year, our summer reading program is again sponsored by Bowman Chevrolet. And you can register. It goes from June 12th to August 14th. I know it's a little bit away, but it'll be here before you know it. So we have everything for different ages. We have grades 3 through 5, ages 2 through 4, and grades K through 2. And we even have for babies. So each week, everybody has a program that they can go to at the library or virtual. It's either going to be virtual or outside this year. And then every Monday night, we offer wonderful family programs that everyone can come to. We've collaborated with Lake Orion Public Library, where we do Fridays in the different parks. We host Neighborhood of Stories. So everybody's welcome to come out to the park that is the park of the week. We let everybody know the week before. There's a schedule that goes out, and everyone comes out and we perform story time live outside for the kids, and everyone just sits on a blanket, socially distanced apart, and it is a lot of fun. And we were able to do that last year, so we are definitely going to be continuing it this year. We host this every year. Like I said, it is free, and the important part of participating in a summer reading program is that is where the skills are lost. So over the summer, when kids are no longer in school, that's where their reading skills drop down. They can actually drop down a whole full grade if they're not encouraged to read over the summer. So programs like this are just an incentive, and they're incentive based, because at the end, children can win these big prize baskets that are just full of over $100 worth of toys. But the more important is that you're encouraging them to read all summer long and keep up their reading skills by the time that they then go into and enter their next grade. And that is the key and most important part of having a summer reading program. And like I said, I didn't put it on here and I'm kind of kicking myself for it now, but we also offer at the library, we have these early literacy bags and they're little early literacy kits. I actually made these early literacy kits myself. They are for pre-K all the way up to grade 3. And in every bag, there are instructions, there's books, there's games, there's manipulatives, and every single one of them address the benchmarks for the current reading expectations for the state of Michigan. Because Michigan passed a 3rd grade reading law that if you do not read at the standard that is acceptable by grade 3, then you get held back. So I went, and that's why I kept saying to everybody, what the comprehension is the one that we lose. Comprehension is the one that we lose. But it's true. A lot of times they will retain some type of reading skill. They can read what on the page, but they can't tell you what they read. So we do have early literacy kits that are available for everyone to check out. And we're actually going to be making more of them here in the near future. And they are very popular and you can request them and you can put them on hold. So I hope this helps. This has been great for me. I did enjoy myself and I'm now at the part where I am willing and able to take questions. If Timmy wants to monitor the chat for me, if there's anything in there.
Yeah, we got a couple. There's one from Alex.
Huh?
Alex H asking, do you have an opinion on correcting hand grip for writing?
If I have an opinion for correcting what?
Hand grip on writing.
It depends on what age they are. I think if they're too little, no. How old, Alex? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they're here, you can Timmy, you can unmute Alex.
Hey, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So my daughter, she's pretty young. She's under 2.
Mhm.
And you were talking through your experience of seeing that journey of them like transition in
Mhm.
their writing skills and their hand grip. That was just a question that came to mind of, is it something to be corrected, or is it something that they will develop as they continue on as they learn to write?
I think 2 is too young to correct it.
Okay.
I think that, because she's still going like this.
Well, we haven't been correcting her. We're just letting her just go however she wants, and she switches between her right and left hand, things like
okay.
that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just a curiosity.
Well, yeah, from a neurological standpoint, which I do know about just from my son. My son has an extensive medical history, which I'm not going to go into. But right and left hand dominance isn't even like fully achieved until like age 5. So honestly, she's 2. I really wouldn't correct it until she gets to where, they're in their preschool age and they're trying to get them to write. If you're going to put her in formal, I probably about 4, maybe. But you might even see her do it herself. You will watch. I mean, she'll start changing, but you already said she's changing hands, right?
She's changing hands, and like you mentioned, she is adjusting her the way she's gripping a marker or crayon or whichever, if she's scribbling or if she's like doing something a little bit more detailed. So that's been really interesting.
Yeah. She'll do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Very
cool. I
cool.
wouldn't correct it.
I think I had another question in there about the library, but you
Sure.
already answered. So
I did?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's all we have in the chat so far. So.
Okay, let me see. Something about, what was that about the library? Oh, we got another one. I don't know how to do it, so you got to do it to me or I'm going to mess up.
Yeah, Alex was asking as well earlier in the chat, do you work with other regional libraries or offer these programs for non-residents?
Oh yeah, no, she's got it. Yeah, non-residents can come to our programs. Absolutely, 100%. They can come to our, and they can still get a library card as long as they're in good standing at their original library. that's always the key. So,
And we
then
also, go ahead.
if my child is interested in reading, at what age would practicing sight words and stuff be good? You can start them trying to see if they'll identify words at any age. How old, Lindsay? Where's Lindsay? I'm like, I'm gonna make you, Lindsay. There she is. Let's unmute Lindsay.
There you go.
Hey,
I don't know if
Lindsay.
you want to make me too big. Okay, don't break your screen.
Ah.
Yeah, my daughter's gonna be 4 in April, and she's really big into it, and keeps saying, "Mama, teach me," and I'm like,
Oh, go
well,
for it.
I can. So I just didn't know what if it was like if there was a too young. I mean, I'm a middle school teacher, so I'm kind of like, I don't do the little ones.
Oh,
very
I
well.
get it. No, I get it. No, if she wants to, mama, teach me, just start with like the really, start with, totally.
Okay.
do it, and do the sound out. I love that. And like the fingers, you know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
in the syllables. Sorry, this is all I had.
And then another one real quick, since I'm unmuted, I'll just ask it. So she also was practicing writing because she was wanting to, I was writing my name and she wanted to practice. And I didn't know, I know a lot of places use like the hashed letters and the dotted ones. I've been using a highlighter and having her trace over that. Do you recommend anything specific, or are both those good, or?
Both of those are good, but even if you want to, if you've got anything that's raised, like you make her do it with her finger.
Okay,
So
that's a good
start with
idea.
her finger first and then move on to a utensil.
Okay.
So allegedly, I mean, she might not like it. If she doesn't like that sensory feeling, then just whatever. If you keep doing what you're doing with the highlighter is fine. They say the more rigid, like the more sensory experience you can get from it, the better they learn it. But if she doesn't like it, then don't make her do it.
Okay.
So, okay. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, Timmy, where are you, Timmy?
I don't see any other questions. Yeah.
Okay, so we're good. We're on time here, guys. We're killing it. So my presentation will be available. It's recorded, so it will be available to revisit. If any of you would like to have any of the materials that I did put together for my PowerPoint, I would be happy to send them to Robin. If that's something that everyone's interested in, you guys can just let Robin know and then let me know. Well, Robin would let me know. But Tim, are you laughing at me?
No.
Just no. But I did really enjoy this. I really hope that you guys come and visit us at the library and to try to get it out there that we do have all these wonderful services for everybody. So, Robin, is there anything you'd like to say at the end here? Oh my gosh, she's not, hold on. Why won't Timmy, I can't unmute her.
It's unmuted now. I just
Okay.
asked to
Oh,
unmute.
okay. I was trying, but it kept saying, no, I won't, I couldn't get muted.
Okay.
No, I think this is a lot of great information to piggyback off of some of the things that you said about sight words and large letters. We utilize some of that in our classrooms, larger lettering with their name so that they recognize their name, labeling of the areas in the room, labeling of their cubbies and where things go, things like that. That's also helpful. But I would love for everybody to pass the word on what a wonderful, demonstration of why literacy is so important, and, have everybody listen to the recording. And I would love to help. And Emily is also our, she's helping with this event as well, Emily Walenko. So send people to us so we can get those, get them listening to the recording.
That's great. All right. So if that is it, I just would like to thank everybody for coming this evening and to be in contact with me and Robin. And with that, I mean, we're going to be all done here. And I would just like to thank everybody for coming, and please come visit us at the Clarkston Independence District Library so we could, you know, you guys can see our fun stuff. Why is my chat blinking? Thank you.
Lindsay was just
much.
saying thank you.
You're so welcome. So, okay. And with that, I hope everybody has a really good night. With our families. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like that. Yes, it'll be recorded. It'll take a few days for it to get processed and back for everybody, but it'll be there. But yes, thank you. And like I said, if anyone likes the sheets, Robin, I can give you the sheets that I used. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. Thanks for attending. And yeah, please come and see us at the library. We would love to see everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
All right. It's good.
All right.